This F150
runs great, but every once in a while goes,
especially if you put it in reverse and feather the gas. Checked codes. We got timing issues.
Unplug the VVT solenoid, variable valve timing. Cannot make it replicated again. Put it in reverse, feather the gas, it doesn't go. So I think our issue is not timing. I did a valve cover on this about 6 months ago because it was leaking. And it looks like the timing chain had been done before. He hasn't had the truck for more than 2 years. I distinctly recall everything looking great inside there. So we're gonna change this solenoid without taking the whole valve cover off. Let me show you. Here's our new solenoid kit right here. I know a lot of people hating on Dorman lately, like their quality has dropped, but I haven't had one of these Dorman ones fail yet. I used to do a lot of these Ford timing, but haven't really recently. They say go with dealer only if you don't want any failure, but check into liver noise kits. They're more expensive, but they make the best timing components for these F-150s. Liver noise. So you got two different styles. We're going to be using this style. It's the type of valve cover. There's also this style, much tighter. A little less room to get in there. As you can see, this is metal all the way around with a rubber coating. And it's pretty deep. This goose grip light is super handy. Here's our seal right here. I'll show you how I did it. I didn't even take anything apart except for the power steering reservoir. I just took my screwdriver in 2 spots and gave it a few hammer taps. This one was super crusty on the aluminum, so I gave it a little bit of spray and then went around it and just worked it just with a little screwdriver. Just once you deform it, you can start working it out of there. It didn't take long at all. Now the seal's out. Right down in there, let's see if we can get a peek. Right there is our hold down bolt. Right there, that's gonna hold her down. Come over to our new one. Comes with a new bolt right there. You can see right there. Now you do not want your socket to fall off or the screw to fall off down in that valve cover. That would be bad. So we're going to be extra careful with that. What's cool about these redesigns is the bolt does not come out, so it won't come out of there. There's some original designs of solenoids where the bolt will come out. We got our long wobble head extender. Make sure that socket's not going to fall off of there. Make sure the wobble's not worn out. See, this one's not coming off. That's a T27 Torx bit. All right, I got my socket right on the head of the bolt. We're gonna crack her free. There we go. It's not a whole lot of torque on these. I got that hold down bolt twisted out about 5 spins or so. Now I wanna get my solenoid and kind of break it free. There we go. It's lifting up and down now. That's perfect. And you can magnetize your socket, so you could just bring that bolt all the way out, but you might clip it on this aluminum coming out. So I want to get my bolt all the way loose with my solenoid up. That way, you know, the bolt doesn't fall out of the loop in the solenoid. And bring that bolt and solenoid up together. So now I'm gonna take this off the ratchet, the extender, and by hand, twist that screw left with my right hand pulling up on the solenoid. The bolt and solenoid are gonna come up together. All right, as it's coming out of the hole, line that little bracket up with this little cutout on the front left side there. You see it right there? Then it'll come out as a team. Let's see if the person who did the timing replaces solenoids at the same time. Highly recommended. And let's see. Yep, this is the bolt. See, I didn't even have to worry about that bolt. It doesn't slide through. I'm not sure what years of these had the one where the bolt can actually fall out. I'm not sure what brand this is. It's pretty oily. Let's see if there's any metal or anything in there. Yep, I could see Ford Motor Co. there. So either this wasn't replaced with the timing or they used Ford parts. And the screens look really clean in her. Doesn't look too bad. But it could be defective. We could go through some testing and whatnot, but I think unplugging it and the problem going away pretty much points that we need a new one. You can see the redesign is a bit different right there in that middle section. All right, so we're just gonna drop that guy in there and get her bolted in. Don't torque that bolt and snap it off. You'll be in a world of hurt. And you can see there's a lip on the socket. So as you're coming up, do not knock that socket off down in there. Being nice and careful. While that solenoid's out, clean around your sealing surface here and get any nastiness off. Give it a little bit of lube, grease, or spray for your new seal to get in. There's a bit of aluminum corrosion on this one. A little bit of grease for the edge of the seal. It only goes in one way. You'll see the two lips. We'll turn it till it lines up. Push it down. Get it nice and flush all the way around. Don't have one edge lower than another. There we go. Get yourself a deep well socket that fits perfectly over that edge. In my case, I have a 34 millimeter with Olsa Tools locking extender. You can see it butts up nicely with the socket. We got our hammer. We're gonna put that perfectly on that seal and drive it in with soft, gentle taps. Just like this, tap, tap, tap-a-roo. And it will try to slide on you a little bit. Just make sure you get a firm, steady hand. You can see that seal's in there, perfectly flush. It'll bottom out on its lip and on these two tabs. Now we're good to grab our wiring harness from over here. Where'd it go? I don't know. It's somewhere down there. There it is. Plug her back in. Put our power steering reservoir back on. With doing any of these solenoids, it's recommended to have a oil change afterwards. See, it even came with the tag with this one. Do an oil change with the proper oil viscosity. Clear your engine codes. Try to replicate the problem. If not, you're done.